guys, this is Carrie with Fullerton Professional Organizing, and in this episode I'm talking to you about Tracy Bowers, Bowers, from Organize Simply. And she talks in this article, she talks about organizing closets. The first thing she says is to designate a home in your closet for everything. First, have to designate a home for everything like you do for any space that you're organizing. Everything has to have a home. Create zones. She says she got that idea from Peter Walsh. Now, I am a follower of Peter Walsh, and I'm going to have to look up the creating zones and see what he said, refresh my memory on that, because I've heard of creating zones, and I really love creating zones, and I've talked about creating zones, but I don't remember it coming from Peter Walsh. So that's where I'm going to have to refresh my memory, because I really like Peter Walsh and some of his ideas and mindsets. But she says, create zones and we set limits. We contain where needed, and we are forever organizing a space, but it's all jam-packed. When you take your clothes off or you're pulling them from the laundry and you're putting them in your closet, if there's no room, you're just going to drop it wherever. She says you can move your clothes around and actually see everything you have, so you're going to wear the clothes because you see them all. If they're not all jam-packed in, you have to get rid of or declutter enough items so that your clothes can slide in and out and you can actually see what you have. Just pick your absolute favorites that you end up using and only use what fits in your space. So only put the clothes that you love in your space, so that you only use the items that you love. And then she says, what about shoes? On the top, she says some closets have shelves in the middle. Some closets have, like, your tops are on the top and your pants or bottoms are on the bottom, and then in the middle some closets have a shelf that no one uses because it's kind of covered a little bit by clothes. She says put your shoes there, that way they're somewhat visible but they're not on the floor. So I thought that was a good idea. I have never had a closet with a shelf there, but I actually might put in a shelf there because I do have the double hanging closet, but it might be nice to have a shelf over my pants so that I can put my shoes there, easy to grab, and they're not all over the floor. I love that idea. But again, you don't want more shoes than you're able to fit in your closet. And that's really what she is saying. Don't have more clothes that can fit in your closet and dresser drawers. Don't have more shoes that can fit in your closet. And she uses these acrylic bins for her shoes. And they have the ones that stack, that the lids are on top. So you'll have to move one box to get to another, but they also have the acrylic ones that have drawers or little flaps in the front. And she says she just takes those little flaps off the front so you can get your shoes in and out easily without and you can stack them without messing up the stacking, unstacking, and all of that. They have ones like this that you can just stack 3 high or 4 high. Just get items that you can be consistent with. If you're going to use clear bins, use all clear bins. If you're going to use all white ones, use all white ones, so that your eye has a clean look. Now, I don't mind using white bins and clear bins, but I think maybe what she's talking about is just using all clear ones for your shoes instead of a bunch of hodgepodge ones for your shoes. I think in the whole closet you can use different bins to add texture. Usually people try to put too much into their space. That's the number one problem. I mean, your closet, you want things to be able to slide back and forth, in and out, and you want to be able to see your clothes and get to them and only have the clothes that you're actually wearing. Now, create a zone and set limits. If your hanging bar only holds 30 hangers, then you can only have 30 outfits on that bar. Organize clothes zone by zone. If you don't have time to completely organize your whole closet, do it in zones. Organize all your pants, organize all your shoes a different day, organize all your blouses on a different day, and then try them on. Look at them, put all the light things together, fold the light, fold them together or hang them, and then put those back. And again, you've created a zone where this is where your hanging pants go. This is where your folded pants go. This is where your shorts go. And maybe even use a basket for your folded items. But only keep what fits in that space. And so just keep that in mind. You want to know, also go up as high as you can with bins or baskets. You may want to put the least used items or your seasonal items up as high as you can go. That way you can switch them out and you're not having to reach the high areas on a daily basis, but use that for your seasonal items. She said that there are acrylic shelves that will go like this so that you can divide out this space for tops, maybe this for purses, and this for yoga pants. But she says take advantage of those acrylic shelves. I want to tell you too about folded clothes. If you have them on shelves, this is an acrylic shelf divider, and you just pop it in onto your shelf, and it holds your clothes up so that they're not falling all over. She says I like pants to go on in between the dividers, especially because pants don't fall over as much. They stay pretty tight. T-shirts and things, if you have to fold them, sometimes they become a mess quickly, and that's when you could use a basket, she said, or a bin. But always measure first your shelves before you do any project. You always want to measure, and you want to have some product that will fit in your space the day that you're organizing. Now, for me, I like to go into clients and declutter first so we know what fits in the space and where it's going to be in the space, and then I like to measure and have them order the bins that will fit in the space. Organize so that it makes you happy to look at it and be consistent. Even if it's a small closet and you just have a couple of baskets, make sure they're the same and that they go with the decor in your room. You have to love it. If you love it, you're more inclined to keep it tidy and to put things back. And then you want to be consistent with your hangers, of course. Use all wooden hangers or use all felt hangers. Now, she likes hangers with the rubber grips instead of the felt hangers, and I understand that. I usually use the felt hangers with my blouses that slip off of the hangers easily and fall off in my closet. And then I use the same color, but just thin plastic hanger for all the things that stay on the hanger, and I don't have to worry about them falling off. But she says you can use all the same hanger. She uses the plastic ones with the rubber grips because she says you can still pull your tops off easily without it, and yet it grips it enough to keep things from falling off. But her favorite are the wooden hangers. So everyone has a different way of using hangers, but just use all the same hangers and make sure it's consistent and make sure it fits your needs. It has to function. Because they stick together, your clothes, they just stick. You stretch out your neck. It's horrible. Choice, she says, the nice, beautiful wooden hangers, but we already covered that. I already talked to you about that. And then she says to use the same color hangers with the little clips for your skirts. Now, what she says to do with your skirts when you put them on those clippy hangers is to go ahead and clip the clip that's going to be facing out of your closet. Make sure your skirt is on the end. That way the part that hangs out hangs towards the wall, and all of your skirts. Now, this is a new tip for me. And so I have learned something new even by studying these other organizers, because then all your skirts are on the end of the hanger and they all hang exactly the same. And then all the extra fabric hangs towards the wall and doesn't look as messy when you're looking at it from this side. But she says if you don't like it hanging off the hanger, then just fold it in, and then the back and the front that you see will all be the same. So the skirt hanger, this is huge. This is so important. There's some that some of the skirt will hang off a lot, but you want what's showing to be clipped all the way at the end. And tips for hanging pants. When you're hanging up your pants, again, we talk about consistency. We all have that little part when you fold your pants, and then it has the little part that sticks out from the crotch. When you're hanging up your pants, we're talking about consistency. We all have that little, and she calls it the butt that sticks out. This should always be facing the wall. Always, always, always. And then so it's a nice straight line, just like the skirts in front. And you want the legs to hang on the same side as well. So if your legs are always on this side, make them always on that side. And she's talking about when you hang your pants, and some people hang the leg over a certain way. And then again, anything sloppy, silky shorts and things, put them in baskets. Then you don't even have to worry about folding them perfect. T-shirts, there's folding boards, and I love the folding boards because for my t-shirts that I just wear around the house, I don't wear outside of the home. It's just my comfy, baggy, whatever t-shirts. I use a folding board, and then I have the cubed hanging shelves, and that I have my long sleeve t-shirts and my short sleeve t-shirts. Now my real warm wool, not wool, my really hot long sleeve t-shirts, I have them in a bin with my sweaters, so they only come out when I bring out my winter season outfits and switch them with my swimwear. But just regular long sleeve t-shirts that are thin, that you can wear when it's a little bit cooler, and then the short sleeves when it's really, really hot. just those slip-ons for inside the house, those I have on the cubed hanging shelves, and I use those folding boards so that they all fit. But if you're going to put those t-shirts in your drawer, use the folding board to fold them like they do at the stores, and then fold that down one more time, and then you can file fold them in your drawer. That's just in a little extra tip that was not in this article. With the folding board, you can just quickly fold your shirts if you're stacking them, and then you can have those little dividers in between that keep them from falling over. If you're putting them on a shelf, I use the cube shelves. So instead of laying them flat, when you put them in a drawer, instead of laying them flat, you have them standing up so that you can thumb through and see what you're looking for instead of having to pull them out. Actually, she's talking about putting them in a basket. I said to do it that way for drawers, but you can do that to put them in a basket or bin that's in your closet as well. And label everything. Absolutely, you need to label them. I mean, this is just a simple bin clip from the Container Store. You can buy these little clips that just clip onto your bins. Or you can use your Cricut or Silhouette and make the iron-on vinyl and put those on bins, or just the vinyl stick-on. Shoe boxes. If you can't afford the acrylic ones, a bunch of shoes at a time, they have plastic shoe boxes that you can get at Target or Walmart, or even at the Dollar Tree. She says 99 cents. They're about 99 cents, but you can buy those. If you're trying to protect them, put them in a clear shoe box so you can see them. Take pictures and put them on the end so that you can clearly see what's in them. Everything's labeled. Everything has a zone. You know where everything is. And if you bring in new items, you have to take out items. Bring in something else in, you have to take something out, because again, your closet is the container and you don't want to overflow the container. You can't buy a new closet, but so you have whatever you own has to fit in that closet. So do one little thing at a time, do one section at a time if you're gonna organize your closet. Rotating clothes, you're just all in there. Now, I have all of my clothes in my chest of drawers and my closet. I do rotate the seasonal items, but they're still right there in the closet. And that's what she says she does. All of her stuff is organized in her closet and chest of drawers. But if you do have some overflow items, they can be stored under your bed or in a shed. I'm not sure. Let me see. I don't remember what she says, so let's go ahead and talk about that. They're just all in there because they all fit in her closet. That is ideal. She says, if you just have enough, because when things get too difficult, we don't do them. So if you have to switch out your clothes during the season, I don't switch my clothes either. I have baskets. So I have my summer shorts down right now. So I put my summer shorts up and bring down my hats. But all I'm doing is my hats and gloves and stuff. But all I'm doing is just switching a couple of baskets. But it's all in her closet. So we just need to edit and only keep what you're actually wearing. If you haven't worn it the last year or two, why hang on to it? It's not worth it. It's just not. Or sometimes it's like you get too discouraged because you wore that before you had children and you want to get in it again someday. Well, that's not, your hips have spread. It's not going to happen. It's usually not going to happen. Most of the time, it's not going to happen. And so you're looking at it and it's making you feel bad. I wish I could fit into that. We don't want to feel bad. We want to walk into our closet and feel good. So again, if you have to hold on to those things, put them in a bin. Put it out of the room. Put it in the garage or in a storage room or under the bed. Then if you don't ever go back to those items, then in 6 months or a year, you can just take that whole bin and donate it. Now, keep what makes you feel good. If you have those 5 shirts that you rotate that you feel good in, that's all you need. You have to have in your closet are those 5 shirts. When my kids went to school, they had, I think, 8 to 10 shirts for my kids and like 4 pairs of pants. That's all that's in their drawer. So their drawers weren't ever oozing. They all fit comfortably. It was just those few things that they wore every day and they fit comfortably in the drawer. She says, keep it simple. To stay organized, you need more often. To stay organized, you need to keep things simple, and maybe you just wash more often because you run out of clothes quickly. But you'll never have piles of laundry that you're overwhelmed with. That's a good tip too. Your laundry is going to be so much easier to do if you do it once a week. And the less clothes you have, the less tempting you're going to be to just keep wearing your clothes until you have none to wear. And then you do all of the laundry at once, and then it takes hours and hours. Or if you wash your own laundry once a week, just yours, not everybody else's. You do your husband's on one day, you do Sunny Boy's on another day, you do Dear Daughter on another day, and yours on another day. When you have that laundry, you're most likely, now you may have a little more or less, but you're most likely going to have 7 tops, 7 pants, and 7 pairs of socks, and that's it. You're not going to have the whole closet for each person to fold and separate and all of that. It really does keep your laundry simple. Now keep it simple. Yes, we already went over that. They didn't even have to be folded perfect because there was room. It is in the drawer and it's good enough, because they could just, if they only had 8 shirts or 5 shirts, they could all be just laid flat. Now, organizing jewelry. She said something that's more personal and kind of depends, but I personally like it hidden. I don't wear a lot of jewelry anyways, so for me, the few pieces I have, it's just neat and clean. I just have a neat little stackable bin from the Container Store, and that's what she keeps her jewelry in. But they also have many different things out there. But the big thing is to be consistent. And use your wall space. If you like it hanging, they have beautiful acrylic pegs that you can put on a wall, and you want to use your wall space anytime you can. So you can use that to hang your jewelry. It's easy to put away. They're not getting tangled, and that is great. You can put little rings on there as well. Consistency is key. But if you get acrylic for your bracelets, you want acrylic, the same kind of thing for your necklaces. It just needs to be consistent. Consistency is key if you want things to look clean and beautiful. Just be consistent in whatever you use. Create zones and set limits. That's the key, is create zones and set limits. Because people overbuy all the time because they can't find things. I can't find my gold hoops, so they go and buy another pair of gold hoops. If you keep things where you can see it, you won't overbuy. Let's see. She says some people do wear a lot of different jewelry, which is awesome if they do that, but just make sure it's spread out neatly so you can at a glance see it and know right where they are. I have an acquaintance that she has all of her jewelry color coded to her outfits. Um, let's see what to look for in a closet. Shelves for your shoes. Use all the vertical space. She's kind of just summarizing a little bit here. And then hanging versus folding. She folds bulky items, and that's me. If it's a sweatshirt, hoodie, or sweater, those bulky items are hung and put on a shelf. And in my case, we don't have big winters here, so they're all in one little bin so they can be switched out with my swimwear, because it's always t-shirt weather here. And when I say t-shirt weather, I don't mean cool t-shirt weather. I mean very, very hot t-shirt weather. All right. So yeah, everybody's different. I mean, we both prefer hanging. If you prefer hanging, then and you're actually going to hang the clothes up, then hang them. But if you prefer folding and you're actually going to fold the items, then definitely fold. You have to organize your closet for your personality. A system that you're actually going to use and use efficiently. So do what works for you. Keep it simple. Everybody's different. If you, all right, let's see. All right, now let's go ahead and do a little summary of what we talked about. All right, Tracy Bowers. We're just gonna go over what we just talked about, just a little summarize how her tips on organizing closets. There are certain places that most of us struggle to keep organized. One of those areas is our closet. Learn organizing tips for your closet and how to keep it and stay organized. I'm just going to give you one tip before I go on. My tip is take your clothes on or off in the closet. That way you're right there and it's easier to put, well, my chest of drawers is also in my closet along with my hanging clothes. So if I need to refold something, which I usually don't put something that I've worn back into my drawer, but I might wear a blouse or a pair of jeans a second time before I put it in the dirty clothes. So in my closet, I have the dirty clothes bin. So when I take off my clothes, it goes straight into the dirty clothes bin. But if I'm going to wear something again, it goes hung up and back into my closet. I pretty much know in my head whether I've worn the item a few times, twice or not. Of course, I didn't do any of that during the pandemic. I always threw anything I wore right into the dirty clothes to be washed. But anyway, if you're changing clothes, you can put your dirty clothes in the dirty clothes. When you can always hang up your clothes right away, fold them, all of that. If you dress and undress in your closet, it makes it so much easier to keep it from being thrown on the floor in your bedroom. But she says start with your pants. Your pants fold easy. That's why I say start with your pants, because it's a quick, easy fold and you can make them neat really quickly. So start with your pants when organize your closet. Get them organized today. She says consistency is the key. If you want things to look clean and beautiful, just be consistent in whatever you use. Everything has to have a place in your closet. Create zones and set limits. I think that's a good rule to keep as well, is set limits. Also contain where needed and be consistent in the products that you use. Don't put too much in your closet. You need to be able to see your clothes and get to them. Only have the clothes that you are actually wearing. Use vertical space to store your shoes. You can use shoe racks and hang your shoes on the closet wall. Keep things as simple as possible. If it is not simple, it is hard to keep organized. All of your products in your closet should be consistent. Even if it's a small closet and you just have a couple of baskets, make sure they're the same. If you bring something new into your closet, you have to take something out. Give it to a friend or donate it. But keep your closet, what fits, what doesn't, you have to make room for, so you have to get rid of something to make everything fit. Don't keep what you don't wear, and only keep what makes you feel good about yourself. Go through your clothes and only keep your absolute favorites. Have what fits in your space in your closet. Measure your closet space first. You want to have products that will fit in your closet space. When hanging your skirts, make one side flush with the end of the hanger and have the extra hang off of one end only, or you can fold that in and double clip it. To hang your pants, always have a nice straight line facing out. Label everything so you know what you have in your bins and baskets, and you know where everything goes. You know where the home for everything goes. All right, guys, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. I will leave information for Tracy Bowers in the description, and I will see you on the next podcast. Thanks for watching and listening.